Hello guys, so how are you doing? So I will use this to show you how to drape your faux wrapper skirts or gowns without your dress form or your clients, because sometimes it's always easier. Definitely it's easier when you have to drape it on a dress form or on the client. Like when the client comes for a fitting, you just drape it on the person, pin it down and then go and sew. So it's a bit more challenging when you have to do it without either of those. But let me just quickly show you how you can do that easily. So first things first, what you need to determine whenever you want to do that, first of all, is your fabric, because usually these Georges, they're either designed taffeta, designed raw silk, or this thing net. And now once you have the and of course the net is easier to work with. With the net you can just hold a lot, just squeeze it together at one end and sew, and it's done. Meanwhile with the taffeta or raw silk, it's a bit more challenging because you need to allow some of the fabric to still hang down before then you have a little drape. Then secondly, you also have to determine where you want to start from and where you want to end it. Those are two other things you need to consider. You understand? Because there are some that start directly from the waist and there are some that start on the hip. Then aspect, it's angled up to one side, so you have to decide whether you're starting from the waist or from the hip and where you're going to end it also. Then thirdly, you have to determine whether it's going to be round. There are some of them that will go round like a proper wrapper, but of course if it's going to be in front, but I'm working on it's going to be just in front. So those are a few things that you need to consider. So that you have to consider is how the draped part, that's the hanging part, do you want it to be very long and get to the ground, or you just want it to be hanging in the air? That you need to have your pins, you need to have your hemming gum. This faux wrapper can be done on a dress or on a skirt. So this one is just a skirt, so it's going to start, and it's going to start from the waist. So I'll just show you. So first of all, when you've cut out your fabric, you're going to set it like this one right now. It's going to, like what I'm going to do, first of all, you divide your skirt. Let's say the full length. If it's going to start from the waist, I always advise you that you should divide your skirt into three. If you divide it into three, like this one, let's say is 42. Now 42 divided by 3 is going to give you that's going to give you like 14. So it means that 2/3 of it is going to be 28. You understand? So 28 is going to end somewhere here, because that gives you enough space to see the down part and the top part. So if it's going to end here, that's where it's going to start from here. Then the first thing you do, you set your wrapper at this end. Now this very end, give a little extra out. Don't start immediately at the beginning of the wrapper. You understand? Then pin your fabric off, pin the one you're going to use to do the faux wrapper to the edge of your skirts. This one that I'm working on is designed taffeta, so it's a bit on the light side. So I've already lined it. Now you pinning it down and leaving a little extra out is now going to help you to have, if you start from this place like this, 2/3 of it, you now have a little extra hanging at the top part that you can use for your drapes. Now you fold one, take one side up a bit. Remember, it's already pinned down at this end. So you take one side up a bit to start with the first one, to give you your first, and try as much as you can not to. So put a weight on this place. If you want, you can even pin it down to ensure that it does not move at all. take it up a bit. Now if you look under this one, of course you'll be able to see the end of the skirt. So you take this one up first to do the first. You've gotten it. So the next thing you need to do from this side, you start folding it down bit by bit. Remember, most of them are gathered, unlike the net judge that you can just gather it anyhow. With these ones that are cotton, that's the taffeta or the rustic, you have to take your time to gather it, to arrange it and make sure they are all in place. Get the second one, get the third one. Now this one, just focus on this edge first of all. Then another thing you have to focus on, because is that this other end, like let's say for example my sewing allowance is 1 inch. You do not have to end it inside the 1 inch. You have to allow it to hang. You understand? It doesn't have to, let's say you give it like ½ inch away from your sewing allowance. Like take for example, if my sewing allowance is, this is my, let's say for example this is my sewing allowance here, 1 inch, I can end like at the 1.5 point or even 2 inches point. So just first of all, just find a way to neatly gather it at one end. Neatly gather it. Now when you have done that, don't worry about the other side. Then you can pin it down. So I finished pinning mine. So if you want your own to, so if you want yours to, the whole gathers to be at this waist part, you can do that. If you want it to be down here, you can still do that. But the most important thing is that when you have gathered it here, I've gathered it at this, you pin it down, then all you need to do, just that because I can't use this socket that is close by, so I'll have to go and iron my own. You put your hairstay, just measure your hairstay, the length of your pleats. Then you carry your hairstay and put under the pleats. Put the hairstay under your pleats, like this one now that is not pinned down. You just put it under and iron it. This helps to keep your pleats in place. But I just, this one now, like this one, you see the way I've pinned these edges? All I need is once you've put it in place, with your pins on it like this, you go and sew on it. This part you just sew just up to this part, then this other edge you leave it hanging. You understand? You just leave this other side hanging, but this edge around where you're seeing the pin, this is the waist of the skirt, because I'm going to pipe the waist of the skirt. You leave it hanging, then just so it. So that is what I'm going to do now, but I'll just quickly go and iron my hairstay down. Then of course I might need to adjust this distance, because I just remember my sister wants it, her own pleats to start at the waist area. But one thing you need to understand, that one side should be smaller than the other side. It can spread on the other side, but it shouldn't spread on this side. So I'll adjust my pleats, then I'll sew it and bring it back for you guys to see. Okay people, so this is our faux wrapper skirts. So you can see this place it's not sewn together, just the side is sewn together. Then the waist, I pinned, like I showed you guys, I pinned it here and I have piped the waist. Then just the side is gathered up there. So this is how you can actually drape on an outfit, on a skirt or a dress also. It's actually this way you can do that. That's if you want it to be like pleats, but you can actually do it if you want it to be gathered also. So it depends on what you actually want. So this is it. This is the wrapper, so it will just fall down like this, like found value in this video. So if you did, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.